Hello everyone, this is Orion. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel and taking a look at this video. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to do the water light reflection method of ITC, which stands for Instrumental Trans-Dimensional Communication, which basically means any form of communication with the spirit world, that involves electronics, and in this case it would be the webcam. Firstly, before I go into this video, I just want to thank everyone for showing interest in my work and for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Those that haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so, it would be much appreciated. Also, I have a Facebook page where you can find me, which I post a lot of my recent work, and I also allow people to comment and I answer their comments if I have the time to do so. This is where you'll find me mostly, rather than here on YouTube. Okay, let's get into the video. Before me, as you can see, I've got a black container, and it is a plastic container. It's very simple. You don't need anything really fancy for this type of communication. The spirit world doesn't worry about whether it's something fancy or whether it's something very simple. It can just be something that you find in your household, a household product. And in this case it was a takeout plastic container from a takeout food that I'm using, and it's completely black. And the reason why I'm using a completely black container is because there's different variations of the water light reflection method that I use. Often when I say I'm using the water light reflection method, I'm not just using the one way, I'm using different variations. Like, for example, sometimes I'd use a stainless steel container. The reason I use a stainless steel container is because if I wanted the images to show, if I wanted spirit to show the images on the reflective surface on the bottom of the stainless steel container under the water, this is why I'd use a stainless steel container. And it also, a stainless steel container reflects a lot of other things from around in the environment, for example trees, clouds, blue sky, so it gives it color. So it can give the images color, and also the image that is shown through spirit, from spirit under the water, works like the water works like a magnifying glass, and it magnifies the image, so it comes through, I find, a lot clearer and in color. Whereas with the black container, when using a black container like this one, a completely black one, I'm wanting the spirits to show the image on the surface of the water, a light reflection, through the light reflection on the surface of the water rather than under the water. Now there's fors and against for both them. As I say, with the stainless steel container, it comes through more in color, and it comes through more clearer, and it's magnified through the water because it's coming through from the bottom of the water. Whereas the one on this one that I'm using here, where the image will show on the light reflection on the surface of the water, the fors for this one, the good points about this one is I find it's more frequent. The images come through more frequent using a black container than it does with the stainless steel one. So there's fors and against for both of them. So that's why I change around and use one and then use the other. Okay, the next thing I wanted to say is a lot of people, I find, when they're starting out doing this method of water light reflection ITC, they tend to hold the camera directly above like this. I'm not saying that you won't get results when you're doing it this way, but I have found that this is not necessarily the best way to do it, for me, that is. For me, I prefer to hold the camera to the side of the container like this, So the light source that you're using will be coming through from one side, hitting the water and coming up into the camera, which will be facing on the other side. So the light source will be on one side, so say the light source is here on the left side, the camera will be over here on the right side on an angle like this. That I find is the best way to do it. Another thing I don't do, you'll find, I have done it just recently, and I do it occasionally, I will admit, but I don't do it all the time, and that is I do not put my hands very often within the water. That's just personal preference of why I don't want to do that, and some of the reasons is because I believe your energies can play a big part if you're touching the water in the water. Another thing I like to do is work outdoors and using direct sunlight rather than indoor lighting, and the reasons for this is because outdoor direct sunlight, I tend to get better results, and I think working with natural solar energy is the best way to go. That's just my opinion. If I am to work indoors for any particular reason, which there is a lot of reasons, because another thing, when you're working outdoors, I forgot to say, when you're working outdoors, you'll pick up anything coming through. You'll get a lot of spirits, like earthbound spirits that need help. You may get a lot of entities, negative and positive. Anything can come through on the outside, whereas inside your house, if you've got protection around your house, you'll only get that which you allow into your house coming through inside. So, but if I work inside, I'll still be using direct sunlight, and how I do that is I put myself near a window, so the light source of the sun will be coming through a window into the container. So I'll set up next to a window for that, rather than use overhead house lighting or anything like that. Now, when I move the container, I flash it, I move it around like this, just moving the water around, not splashing too much, just a little bit, so that the light reflects on the top. You don't have to get big splashes, just little movements around like that and that sort of thing. See how that's happening there, and I tend to focus on the water and just continue to focus on the water, and sometimes it puts me into a state where I'm just almost a hypnotic state. Now while I'm doing this, and you don't have to say it out loud, I don't say it out loud, I say it in my head, and I find I can call on the spirit world in my mind, in my head, rather than saying it out loud. I might just ask the powers that be, the ancient ones, call on my guides, my spirit teachers, and also any other spirits, those that have crossed over, that are around, that need my help, or that are around me. I ask them if it's their will, and this is important, if it's their will to show me that which they want to see, show me, or to communicate. Never command them or summon them. Never say I summon you or I command you or anything like that. This is a no-no. What you need to do is say, if it's your will to show, please show me. You always got to show respect to the spirit world and be polite to the spirit world. This is very important. Very important. So that's pretty much it with this. This is part 1, and now I'm going to go into part 2, where I'll be explaining how to analyze this. So you see the light flashes very quickly about each second, and I find the faster that I do it, the better the results. And I found the faster that I do it, the more energy you use, up. I'm not really splashing the water around that much. I'm just ever so slightly moving the container and very quickly. Alright. Okay, welcome to part 2 of this video that I'm showing you. And what you see in front of you here is a little piece of software called VideoPad Video Editor. A VideoPad Video Editor is made by the same company that makes WavePad Sound Editor. So those that are familiar with WavePad Sound Editor will know of the company that makes it. So that's where you find this particular piece of software. Both WavePad Sound Editor and VideoPad Video Editor are both free programs to download and also free to use, which you may find very helpful. This particular piece of software, VideoPad Video Editor, you can make movies on it and videos, but I don't use this one to make my movies. I use Microsoft Movie Maker. But the purpose of this particular software that I'm showing you here is to go through that filming that we did on the water light reflection earlier, frame by frame. As you know, in the filming it goes, the light reflection goes through second by second, and this particular piece of software will go through those seconds frame by frame, so you can pause it each frame through that goes through the whole of the filming to see exactly what's within the filming. So this is what I use to find the images within the short piece of filming that I do. However, today I don't know if there'll be anything showing within it, because it wasn't a real spirit communication session that I normally do, and is just a demonstration. However, sometimes spirit does still come through, but I didn't do any preparations, and I didn't do any deep concentration, and I couldn't actually feel anything around at the time. As I say, it was just for demonstration purposes. I know you're going to be saying that you can't see the program very clearly, and that this film shows this program on my computer a long way away. So you probably won't be able to see the icons that are up the top here that clearly. To use this program to go through the filming frame by frame is pretty simple. It's not really that hard, and all these things down the bottom here you don't really need to use. That's just if you're making a movie. All you need to know about is these two, is this white box here, this small black box, and this larger black box here. So up the top where these icons are, there's an icon right on the far left. It's the first one on the far left. It's called Add Media. That is the only one you need to click on. So the one at the end, far left, Add Media, that's the one you need to click on. I will post on this video the link to this program so you can find it to download it, and hopefully open it up and follow along with this particular video that I'm showing you here. If you find that's too hard to do because you can't see what I'm doing on this particular film, I'm sure there's others on YouTube that have actually made a YouTube video on how to use VideoPad Video Editor, which might be able to help you just a little bit better. So first what we do is click on Add Media, and then down here we'll show a list of all these different files. I'm not going to do it now because I've already opened it up ready to go. So once you click on Add Media, it'll show you all these different files that are on your it'll show all these different files that are on your computer. And the one you want to go into, or what I went into, because that's where it's saved to, was webcam files, because I recorded it using the webcam, the water light reflection, earlier in this video. So then I go into webcam files and I find that particular recording and I uploaded it onto this program, which there it is there as a file. So then what I do is, after it's uploaded onto this program, I click on that file, and then that shows the whole of that recording session in this second box, black box here, this smaller black box here, and it shows you the time, how long it takes, the whole of the recording. It says 8 minutes because I was talking about it and not actually doing the light reflection method beforehand. I'm going to have to go forward a bit until we get to where we're actually doing the water light reflection, and start from there. So down the bottom here, once you've got it all in this box, the actual recording, you go to this little box down here, which is it is a green arrow pointing down. You just click on that green arrow pointing down and it'll open it up, the first frame in this bigger black box over here. So this is where the whole recording is, and this is where the frames will show, frame by frame. Now down underneath this there is play. You don't need to press play because that will go through the whole of the recording. What you need to do is go to this little box here, which has got a one line and then an arrow. It says step forward, and you click on that, and each time you click on that it'll go to the next frame. That's all you need to click on, and that shows you frame by frame of the whole of the recording session, like that. Now I'm just going to skip forward a little bit to where we started doing the actual water light reflection, which was about at 8 minutes there. And so then you just go through it, clicking frame by frame, and that'll take you through the whole lot. I'm going through it fast here because it's just a demo, but usually I go slowly because when I'm working outside, each frame seems to have a lot of things in it, and I need to look at it carefully before skipping through to the next frame. So as you can see, that's why it takes me so long to do it, and I put a lot of time into the work that I do. So when I get someone commenting under my pictures, it's really good because of the amount of time, and I really appreciate it because it's the amount of time that I actually put in and effort I put into doing this this work that I do. So I just go through it quickly, I just go through it frame by frame here quickly now, just to show you. And this is not an image, but if you happen to see an image of something in there that you think may be something, there's another box here called camera. Now you press that camera box and it saves that frame as a photo onto your computer. Then that's pretty much it. And then you start going through it frame by frame again. And then if you see another image, or that you feel could be an image, you can have a closer look at it later on your computer. But if you feel it looks like a shape that could be an image, you click the camera again and it'll save it onto your computer as a picture. And you can do that each time all the way through. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. Any questions, please feel free to ask me, and I'll get back to you when I do have the time to do so. And as I say, I'll post a link to this this particular piece of software, a VideoPad video editor, in this video. Bye for now.